The last rehearsal of Michael Jackson. There was a quiet street in Los Angeles that almost no one cared about. Just an old building with a cracked mirror sign that read Dream Studio. The place had been closed for years, gathering dust and silence. But one night, when the city was asleep, the lights inside suddenly turned on. Through the dusty window, a man appeared, wearing a black hat, white socks, and a golden jacket that shimmered under the weak studio light. It was him, Michael Jackson. No one knew how he came back. Some said it was just an illusion. Others whispered that music, true music, never dies. Inside the studio, Michael stood alone. A small Bluetooth speaker was playing an old demo track he recorded decades ago. The rhythm was off, the sound distorted, but his feet still moved perfectly. He started to dance. Slowly at first, just feeling the beat. Then faster. The floorboards creaked under his steps, and the air began to vibrate with that familiar energy. He stopped and looked at his reflection in the mirror. The man staring back wasn't the young king of pop from the 80s. He was older, softer around the edges, but his eyes, those eyes, still burned with fire. "Can I still do it?" he whispered. From the corner of the room came a voice. "You never stopped, Michael." He turned. A little boy stood there, maybe 12 years old, holding a worn-out glove, identical to the one Michael used to wear. "Who are you?" Michael asked gently. The boy smiled. "I'm you, the kid who believed that music could change the world." Michael froze. He recognized that voice, that spark. It was the same feeling he had when he first stepped onto a stage in Gary, Indiana. Barefoot, terrified, but unstoppable. The boy looked around the studio. "You forgot why you started. It wasn't for fame. It wasn't for the lights. It was because you loved the sound of your own heartbeat when it matched the rhythm." Michael's eyes filled with tears. He walked over to the piano in the corner, brushed off the dust, and pressed a key. The note rang out pure and clear. "Let's make one more song," said the boy. Michael smiled faintly. "All right, one more." He started to play. The melody was slow, haunting, beautiful, something between earth song and human nature. The boy sang softly, and then, as if their voices merged, the studio filled with harmony. Hours passed. The night outside faded into a pale dawn. When the final note echoed away, the boy was gone. Only Michael remained, sitting quietly at the piano, a tear rolling down his cheek. But he was smiling. He stood up, walked to the window, and looked out at the sunrise. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like a legend or a ghost. He just felt alive. And then he said softly, to no one in particular, "If you still have a dream, it means your soul is still dancing." Later that day, a young music producer walked by the abandoned studio. The door was half open, and inside, on the old recording table, was a flash drive labeled simply, "The Last Rehearsal." Curious, the producer took it and plugged it into his laptop. There was one audio file, no title, no tags. He pressed play. At first, just a piano note. Then a voice, gentle, warm, unmistakable. "Don't stop believing. The rhythm's still inside of you." The producer froze. That voice, it can't be. He uploaded the song anonymously. Within days, it spread across the world. Millions of people listened, crying, smiling, dancing. The world said it was AI. Some said it was an unreleased demo. But the truth was simpler. It was a message from a man who never stopped chasing perfection, who never stopped believing in magic. Somewhere, maybe in another reality, Michael smiled again, watching people dance to his music once more. And if you listen closely at midnight, when the world is quiet, and your heart beats just right. You might still hear him whisper, "Keep dreaming." The music will find you,